everybody, this is Sister Omi. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is safe and taking care of yourself and extending yourself and looking out for those who can't take care of themselves at this time. I'm doing this reading for the sign of Capricorn. And this is going to start with the new moon in Taurus through the full moon in Scorpio cycle. So this is for 1 full month. And as I said, this is for Capricorn, sun, moon, rising. And what I think is interesting at this new moon is the first day of Ramadan, which, as some may know, is the fasting season for people who practice Islam. And this new moon in Taurus is very earthy. Taurus is very grounded. Taurus is very disciplined. I'm not taking Taurus per individual. I'm talking about the Taurus energy. It's very disciplined. And it takes a lot of discipline to get up before the sun rises and eat, and not eating again until after sun sets. So I'm bringing that up because this is a time to pull on some discipline for everybody in some form or fashion. Okay? Now, what I did is I pulled a chakra card. The first card, the chakra card, this is the sacral chakra. The second chakra. This is the area right below, or like your lower abdomen area. And it connects with your relationships, your loved ones, the need to be loved, the need to be accepted, healthy relationships, flexibility, creativity, inspiration, desires, addictions, sexuality, sensuality, your sense of family, community, emotional intelligence, healthy sexual relationships, fulfillment of desires. All that falls more or less in this particular chakra. And, when it comes to relations, we're talking emotion. This could be, dealing with some emotions here. So, if you're into meditation, I would encourage you to meditate on that second chakra. If you think of the color of this card, it's like a cleansing color. It's sort of like, you know what? I have to get one of those stones for this chakra. It's kind of orangey. This is kind of, that's more reddish. That's more the sacral. Oh, root and toot and raspberries. But I have to get, I know I have one. I just don't have one right here. But focus on the orange, the color orange, as you meditate. Now, some people aren't just into like sitting quiet meditation, like she's doing flexibility. So maybe this is calling on for some yoga, stretching, or something like that. But this is tapping into your sense of passion. And pulling this particular chakra, the nature of life and our experiences are constantly inviting us to find a state of flexibility. We're all a combination of our experiences. Each and every one of us has had different experiences. So, Capricorn, since you are earth sign, maybe you need flexibility in how you see others, because their experiences, life experiences, may not have been anything like yours. I'm just saying. However, you may need to exhibit some flexibility with yourself, depending on whatever it is. I mean, globally, the world is dealing with changes and things you never, who would have thought, right? So this is encouraging each and everybody on some level to be more flexible. This will bring about abundance and ease and grace as you find yourself going more with the flow. Have you been feeling a little rigid in your thoughts lately? or maybe even a little stuck, or maybe you're holding on to something in your life that's a little too tight and now it's time to let go. This card could also mean that you're being too rigid with a particular person and that it's time for you to give them and yourself a little slack. Flexibility is always available to you right now. Let it in, allow it into your life with a little more ease and grace. It's like, I guess, well, flexibility, flexible and fluid. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done. That was a song too. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Easier said than done. That's an old school song. In fact, that song is older than me. That was like with my aunts and stuff. But anyway, moving forward. Now I pulled out these cards, and how does it tie in with this new moon Taurus on the 23rd of April, and then we had the full moon on May 7th, which is in Scorpio. So some degree right now, you're probably feeling real victorious, Cappy. You know, you the winner. You won. And so since you're the winner, I'm encouraging you to appreciate what you have. And being victorious. So I'm just going to go to the second card because, the Ten of Cups, upright, this is about being celebrating and all that. But you don't seem to be celebrating right here. And why is that? Is something just didn't turn out the way that you hoped? Now, you're celebrating. I don't know. Hey, only you know your story, okay? You were victorious for whatever reason. So going back to this card of flexibility, have you been hard on someone and maybe you got them on one level and you're feeling victorious, but you really can't really celebrate that, can you? And why can't you celebrate it? Because it really didn't hold. It just didn't turn out the way you wanted to, or it didn't turn out the way you hoped it would turn out, or there's some type of disharmony here. There's just some type of disharmony. Things are not going. Actually, this is kind of saying this fall apart. Yeah, you won, but this stuff is falling apart. This fire, now you think fire energy, that's primal energy. You know, maybe you would, if this was a battle of your strength, like I'm the boss or whatever. But you might have been able to flex your muscles, but you didn't get the results you want. This is what I see. You didn't quite get the results you wanted. And were they legitimate? I mean, really. Capricorn, because Cappy has a lot of stigma with it. You think of the devil card because it's like certain signs, like Capricorn is IUs. They have a stigma that they use people, for their own good. They could be sweet and all that stuff, but ultimately is how are you going to benefit them? They're not known as really being compassionate. So I'm not saying that all Capricorns are like that, because we're a combination of things. That's why these readings are for your sun, moon, rising. So if you're feeling some type of way, maybe you should check out your moon and rising, because I know personally, when I look at my sign, my moon and rising usually gives me more information as to what's really going on. With that said, you're victorious here. You can celebrate, but something's falling apart. Things are disintegrating. They're not something is not happening the way you want it to. And with this particular chakra, what were we saying here? This card could have been that you have been too rigid with a particular person. Could it have been that you hold on too strongly to a certain belief system? Could it be any of those things? Or you could fill in the blank, because each and every Cappy is different. Each and every Cappy is in a different life situation. But here, you're being encouraged here. There's some respite. This is of the mind. I guess, you know, you've been having a lot of stuff on your mind now. So now you need to rest. You need to contemplate. And if this really has something to do with your work, and, you know, that this water, this emotion, you know, money can be emotional. So maybe if it has something to do with your resources, this is a time of respite, a time to think. And with this Taurus moon now, this is really, if you've been victorious and you feeling some kind of way because the stuff ain't working, this is a time to get more grounded and appreciate what you have. And if this really has to do with your finances, this is a time to get your finances in order, you know. So going into the new moon, you need to rest and plan. This is of the mind, you know. Them swords, it's like, or in your sleep, it's like, ooh, I gotta rest. I got all this stuff. Is it the bills? It's the kids. It's the relationship. I'm just saying, it could be any of those things. And you laying on a sword here. With all that said, you need this time to consolidate and rethink your approach to stuff. And this is like coming from the new moon in Taurus, whatever is coming into the new moon and is happening around the new moon. You're going to have to really work at being flexible and fluid, because some things are just not going the way you want it to. And then at the same time, you have to find some time to get some rest, calm your mind, so that you can come up with a better solution. Now, also, when we look at this here, this cup, this could also indicate that you may have been just a little overindulgent. And I'll leave that to your interpretation, but I'll use this as an example. Like, maybe you enjoy like the luxuries, and you like to get material things, and maybe you like that expensive pair of shoes, and you got to really think, do you really need those expensive shoes, or are they attached to your ego? I'm just saying. So this card, since it is reversed, you may have become a little out of touch with reality here. So I'm encouraging you to reconnect with your spirit. And to reconnect with your spirit, take some time to rest. Take some time. When you look at flexible and fluid, maybe getting some exercise would be a very good thing. Doing some stretching. Drinking more water. Especially if you have a job where you sit, or if you're sitting a lot. It may be good to stretch. And that stretching is moving that energy, and it also will help being a little more flexible and fluid. And maybe whatever it is that you really can't celebrate at this time, you'll see another path. Now here, we got some more fire. This is saying once we get to that full moon of Scorpio, and Scorpio is about let's just say Scorpio is not about anything shallow. So if this is saying you had a shallow celebration, like maybe you were flexing your muscles, you need to maybe rethink that. I'm just using it as an analogy. Maybe you need to rethink that, because with this full moon in Scorpio, you're being asked to go deep into the depths. Even though this is a fire sign, your primal energy, really look at what is your strengths, what type of determination, what is your ambition? What is it that you really, really want at this time? This way, as you're coming into the full moon and going into the next moon, you could start putting some of your endeavors or plans into action. And this way, you could put some things into action so that you could really be proud of yourself. Now, this is a 6. Now, 6s in itself is about bounty. What do you want? Confidence and productivity. This is about celebrating with others. Call the circle. Make some magic. Raise a little power for healing and transformation. Cheer on other people. If you want people to back you, you got to back other people. So this is about basically raising the bar on yourself on how, instead of I can motivate, I can encourage, instead of I manipulate, like the devil card, like you can jerk someone's chain. This is asking you to come look at this flexible and fluid, to get people on your side. This is just one way to look at it. Another way is that you could draw more bees with honey. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's a little more clear. You could draw more bees with honey. I'll leave it at that, Capricorn. You could draw more bees with honey. Woo! Carnelian. I believe I pronounced that right. But this particular crystal is about creativity. So you're being asked to pull on your creative energy. You're being asked to be a little more eloquent and creative. And that's going to help you alleviate stress, especially if you're trying to, you could, like they say, draw more bees with honey. But this says you have the ability to remain calm even during disputes, and the self-control not to follow the crowd. And this is about courage in the face of danger when it comes to your inner strength. Direct all that aggression, direct all that passion, direct all that fire towards something creative. And this is what this is basically saying is let go of emotional ties or outdated projects that may be holding you back. And as it said with this, basically flexible and fluid, or are you being retentive and that restrictive, like control, or you just kind of you get more bees with honey. And you can be flexible and fluid. It's a good way to alleviate stress and anxiety. Honey days that dreams are made of sweeten all that is to follow. The maple tree. Maple trees make great furniture. Maple trees make great syrup. They're so sweet. Like I said, you get more bees. You probably get more, as this says, a claim. If you try to motivate towards the better instead of control and manipulate. This is you are being encouraged to be flexible and fluid here. You are being encouraged here to use your fire for something creative. Because here it's like, hey, you were victorious, but are you really celebrating? I mean, you really want to celebrate. So like you got to rest here and rethink your program here. If you really want to celebrate, Cappy, you get more bees with honey. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, let me know what you think. If you feel like writing a comment, please do. Like, share, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. This is Sister Omi. Peace.